I'd like to call to order the Paramount Planning Commission meeting for August 9. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of members, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Here.
Commissioner Esparza.
Here.
Chair Weisenberger.
Here. Okay, agenda item number 1, approval of minutes from July 13th, 2022.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Esparza.
Yes.
Chair Weisenberger.
Yes. Okay, item number 2, oath of office. Commissioners will be approved that were approved at the City Council meeting on July 12th.
Good afternoon. Mr. Moody and Mr. Gonzalez, could you please stand and raise your right hand for me? Thank you. Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic? That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California? That you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I do.
Thank you. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay. Congratulations, gentlemen. Welcome. Officially welcome now. Take the
Thank
oath
you.
of office. Okay, item number 3, reorganization.
Thank you, Commissioners. Nominations are now open for the Office of Planning Commission Chair. Are there any nominations?
I
I'd like
nominate
to-
Weisenberger.
I second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay. When called, please state the name of the commissioner you wish to vote for. Commissioner Anderson,
Weisenberger.
Commissioner Esparza,
Weisenberger.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Weisenberger.
Commissioner Moody,
Weisenberger.
Commissioner Weisenberger.
Weisenberger.
Congratulations, Chair Weisenberger.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Okay, now we have nominations for vice chair. Okay, nominations are open.
I nominate Anderson.
I second.
Are there any further nominations? Nominations are now closed. When called, please indicate your choice for vice chair by stating the last name of the commissioner you wish to vote for. Commissioner Anderson,
Anderson.
Commissioner Esparza,
Anderson.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Anderson.
Commissioner Moody,
Anderson.
Chair Weisenberger.
Anderson.
Congratulations, Chair Vice Chair.
Thank you.
There you go. All right, let's move to agenda item number 4. We have a zoning ordinance text amendment, number 27. This is a request to establish density bonus regulations for affordable housing projects citywide. We have a staff report.
Yes, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. This item is a request for a zoning ordinance text amendment to implement a density bonus ordinance as required in the city's housing element and by the state of California. When a housing developer proposes a housing project with a specified percentage of affordable units, cities are required to grant additional density. Assistant Planning Director John King will go over the details with you.
Thank you, John. And thank you, Chair Weisenberger. Congratulations, you're back. And Commissioners. So as John mentioned, this is a zoning ordinance text amendment. What this basically is a code amendment. So it's a recommendation to the City Council, and this is by state law. So this goes for any city in California. Before when it comes to zoning matters, land use, before a City Council can adopt a change, it goes before that city's Planning Commission. So we'll see these from time to time. And in this case, it's to establish regulations regarding density bonuses for affordable housing development. So we'll explain all of this. There's actually pretty intricate and fascinating. Affordable housing. I think we know what affordable housing is, but Paramount has a long history of supporting affordable housing construction and affordable housing preservation, so maintaining it as a going hand in hand really with new market rate housing. So I think the history really goes back in Paramount to the late 70s, or more so into the 1980s, when there was an effort to attract new residents to bring more folks in, and at the same time with market rate to think of on the other side of the spectrum, how do you to keep a vibrant community of mixed incomes? Even at that time, as you know, California is a little more expensive than other states. Los Angeles is a little more expensive than other counties in California. So what do you do to make sure that young folks growing up can stay, who want to stay can stay? So that's something that's kind of been a linchpin of Paramount's strategy. You want the quality market rate housing, but you also want quality affordable housing. So it's been important through time. And the main way to go about this, the main tool that the city used was redevelopment funds. So Paramount, like a lot of cities in California, we had a redevelopment agency, and Paramount had an especially successful redevelopment agency through the wisdom of the city council and just the Paramount community. That went away. It does not exist anymore, and it's not by the city's choice, as you probably know. In 2012, then Governor Jerry Brown and the state legislature, they basically got rid of redevelopment agencies. So in Paramount 2012, it went away. So this main funding source for affordable housing was wiped out. So without redevelopment funds, the city's been kind of struggling to figure out a way to have at least a portion of new housing to be affordable. So we've turned to this concept of density bonuses. It's kind of been around a while, and it's actually required by the state, but there's a reason why we're bringing it before you now. Just wanted to have some examples. So here's some photos of some housing examples in Paramount that were actually funded with redevelopment funds to have at least a good portion of the housing units to be affordable to moderate income. We say is low to moderate income households. So at the top left, that's a picture. This is the we call it the Olson project. Olson Company Housing. They're a good sized developer in Southern California, housing developer. And so this is off of Orange Avenue across from Zamboni School. And with the redevelopment funds, the city was able to acquire some of the properties and then to have the developer dedicate some of the homes to for 55 years, so long-term affordable households. So that's an example of for sale housing. Now the top right is an example of rental housing for lease. So that's the Twin Towers building. See, I have how many units are there. That is, 176 units total, but 36 of those are affordable units. Were dedicated as affordable units for the long term. And a couple other housing projects on the bottom that have a good number of percentage of affordable units. So they really are throughout the city. So what is affordable housing, or who qualifies for affordable housing? So this changes every year. The Federal Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, it's called HUD, they update their numbers based on, the numbers are going up. Obviously this year more so based on the average median income of households. So they do this for every little region throughout the United States. So what you see here are the numbers for Los Angeles County. They call it the Los Angeles Long Beach area. So that's what Paramount is part of. So at the top, you look at the top row showing the number of people in a household. This is the combined people who live in a home, in a housing unit. And then you kind of go down. So often you look at a four-person household, just kind of an average, I guess. And you look at the median income. So right now, 2022, the numbers are, the median income is $91,100 combined income for median income. So for affordable housing, if you look at the level noted below that, moderate income, that's still in, by what we're going to talk about for density bonuses, that's still considered affordable housing. So a household of four with a combined income of $109,300 annually is considered would qualify for affordable housing unit. So with that kind of numbers, it really just shows the point of why it's something that the city has been looking at for years and years. So density bonus, the idea for density bonuses is to encourage affordable housing. It's not a mandate. It's not something that a housing developer has to do, but it's something that's possible. It's on the books as a possibility. So housing density is kind of what it sounds. So housing density is the amount of housing units, the number of housing units within a particular area by the city. So that's, we have, by our zoning regulations, we have a set number depending on what part of town. And a density bonus allows a housing developer to go a little bit more, to build more units per acre when some of the units are to be sold or some units are to be leased to households with that combined income below those numbers we showed in the previous slide. So the key is, the more of these affordable income housing units in a development, the greater the bonus, the more of a density bonus they can get. They could do a little more. So it's on the books. It's been state law for quite a number of years, I believe late 80s, early 90s. But now fast forward to 2020, and the state passed a bill. It was authored by Lena Gonzalez. The governor signed it, and this was part of a package to figure out ways to tackle the housing crisis, of housing availability and housing affordability crisis. So this is one of them, and this bill increased the required bonus. The main figure is for most cases, a 35% density bonus. This bill raises that to 50%, a 50% bonus if a development meets the certain criteria. And it's also it's all within the city's housing element. The housing element is has the housing plan for the city. And this is done by, according to state law, and cities have to do this every 8 years. The city council adopted the current housing element for 2021 to 2029. The council adopted that in March of this year, March 1st. And within the housing element is something called the Regional Housing Needs Assessment. Everyone calls it RHNA, RHNA. The state has a big number of homes that they want to see built. They pass it down to a group in this area called SCAG, the Southern California Association of Governments. And SCAG came up with a formula for each city in the SCAG region in Southern California. And Paramount, they came up with this number, 364 units. So the city's job is the city is not a developer. The city does not build houses, but has to plan to make sure that 364 new homes are constructed within 8 years. Now, and now for density bonuses, another reason it's important, you see below is income categories. So about half of that 364 can be market rate, above the bottom category, above moderate income. The rest has to be these other affordable units, very low income, and moderate income. So the city has to find a way, it's required to find a way to meet these numbers. And we can meet some of these through garage conversions and back houses, which are called accessory dwelling units, ADUs, as most of you know, but that's only for some. So the city has to find a way to meet the other ones, so that density bonus. So that's kind of the why. Why density bonus? So why? The big why is it's required. When a housing developer proposes a housing project with a specified percentage of affordable housing units, cities are required by the state to grant additional density according to the amount and type of affordable housing units as specified by law. And we'll get into the type in a little bit. Now, the reason why, so you may be asking yourselves, if it's already on state law, why do we need a city ordinance? Well, a few reasons. It provides a clear process, including planning commission approval for developers. And developers, housing developers, they want that a little bit of certainty, not necessarily that it's going to be approved, but they want a process. And if we don't have that, then that puts the city in legal jeopardy. So the main, one big reason, one massive reason really is to protect the city from legal challenges. Legal challenges from housing developers, from housing advocates in general, and actually particularly the state of California. And more so now, so earlier this year, the state decided to highly fund within the housing department, a housing enforcement division. And cities are honestly really nervous about the housing enforcement division, that they're going to crack down on cities. And actually they kind of started to, and as they're building this enforcement unit, it's really important for cities to follow through with housing law. So you don't, first of all, you don't get sued, and you're not spending a lot of money defending a policy that goes against state law, and just to, so your funds go toward basic services, parks and roads and whatnot. And just finally, just demonstrating to the state and the public that the city's part of the solution to the housing affordability crisis. So with the city attorney, the city attorney put together this ordinance with staff review, and basically it mirrors the state law. And so to qualify, it has to be a qualifying housing development, housing project. And here are 5 of the main categories. The first is for a project to have a mix of at least 80% low income and 20%, well, not at least, I guess it's 80% low income and 20% moderate income units based on those numbers from before. A second type is if 5% of the units in the development are intended for very low income households, so that lower category. If you only have 5%, that triggers the density bonus. Third is if 10% are for lower income households. Fourth, senior citizen development. And this is very broad, but if a development, it has to have at least 35 housing units to qualify. And then the fifth is for foster youth. If a housing development has 10% of the units set aside for foster youth. And for each of these categories, this is all, it just can't be, I promise to do this. It's very, a lot of documentation. Basically, there's a lot of documents, and they ended up getting recorded with the county, and it goes on title. So it's part of the record that if a development is going to have, say, 5% to very low income households, it's recorded, and it's at least for at least 55 years. It's a long time. And there's the state has a provision for childcare centers. They want to encourage childcare within housing. So there is a bonus. It's kind of a like for like. If there's for example, 1,000 square foot childcare center in a housing development, then a city is required to grant a 1,000 square foot density bonus. And just a little note at the bottom, none of this applies to accessory dwelling units, which is again converted garages, a new little back house, the smaller little housing that cities are now required to approve. And it does not apply to SB 9 urban lot splits. And what that is this is something that you as the Planning Commission will be reviewing later this year, but the City Council already has adopted an urgency ordinance about urban lot splits. The state passed a law last year requiring cities to approve if a project meets a certain criteria. We're supposed to allow them administratively. It wouldn't go to the Planning Commission, but to split a lot in half and to have a couple housing units on a property. That's called an urban lot split. Density bonus does not apply to urban lot splits either. That's really it. I know this can be complicated, and the ordinance is close to 20 pages. So, but that's in a nutshell. I'm happy to answer any questions, and of course, the city attorney is here to help us out.
Thank you, John. Any questions here for Mr. King? Okay, then let's open the public hearing portion of the meeting tonight. John, do we have any testimony?
No cards in favor or opposed.
Okay. In that case, we'll need a motion to close the public hearing. Can I get a motion to close this, please?
I'll move to close.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sparza,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Present.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes.
Chair Weisenberger.
Yes. Okay, in that case, we need a motion to approve and to adopt this Planning Commission Resolution number 22019, recommending that the City Council approve this zoning ordinance text amendment. Can we
Move
get
to
a motion
approve.
for that?
Motion to approve.
I'll second it.
And moved and seconded. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Sparza,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner Moody,
Yes.
Vice Chair Anderson,
Yes.
Chair Weisenberger.
Yes. Agenda item number 5, oral reports, City Council actions.
Nothing to report.
Okay, very good. In that case, we'll move to item number 6. Any comments from our city attorney tonight?
No comments, Mr. Chair, but congratulations to Commissioners Gonzalez and Moody for being on the Planning Commission. We look forward to working with you and helping you in any way we can to get you going. It'll be a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Any comments from our commissioners tonight?
I have no comments,
No comments?
No comment.
other than welcome aboard.
Okay, welcome aboard. All right, no
Welcome
comments.
aboard.
From our staff, any staff?
Yes, just two things. Welcome to both our new commissioners, Gonzalez and Moody. I do have a certificate of appointment for each of you from the city clerk. Give that to you.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, I kind of mentioned it in the kitchen, the Institute of Local Government is going to be offering some regional planning commissioner training sessions. We don't have locations yet. I apologize for that. We're trying to get those. But there's one in Los Angeles County on September 12th. And there's one in Orange County in November, on November 18th. So we'll get those locations and I'll email those to you. And I would encourage you, if you're free and available, to go, that these are really good sessions for not just for new commissioners, but for existing commissioners too. They'll update you on new laws and different things that are upcoming. So yes, so I encourage you to go, and then if you are able to go, you can let me know and we'll register you. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, then we're going to adjourn this meeting, and we will reconvene on September 13th, 2022 at 6 p.m.
So for the Development Review Board, John, we don't have a chair, so do we?
No, we'll just actually do is just have Val call to order that, and then we'll take roll call.
Excuse me. Call to order the Development Review Board meeting. Going to do a roll call of members.
Roll call of members, sure.
Uh-huh. Board Member Anderson,
Here?
Board Member Sparza,
Here.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Here. Okay. Should I just go ahead with this then?
The two new ones are also, right? They don't do the oath of office, so they don't do the oath of office.
Yes, they're all.
Okay, so we can call, Val, we can call the, you called to order.
Approval of minutes.
Okay,
So,
right, okay.
is there a motion to approve the Development Review Board minutes of July 13th, 2022?
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Thank you. Board Member Anderson,
Yes.
Board Member Esparza,
Yes.
Board Member Weisenberger. I will move to Reorganization of the Development Review Board. Nominations are open for Development Review Board Chair. Are there any nominations?
I nominate Ernie Esparza, Chairman.
I'll second.
Are there any further nominations? Nominations are closed. When called, please indicate your choice for chair by stating the last name of the board member you wish to vote for. Board Member Anderson,
Esparza.
Board Member Esparza,
Esparza.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Esparza.
Board Member Moody,
Esparza.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Esparza.
Congratulations, Chair Esparza.
Yep.
Chair Esparza, if you would open the nominations for vice chair, please.
Okay, I'll make the nominations for office of Development Review Board for vice chair. Any nominations? For vice chair?
I'll nominate Gonzalez.
Are there any further nominations?
I'll second.
Nominations are closed. When called, please indicate your choice for vice chair by stating the last name of the board member you wish to vote for. Board Member Anderson,
Gonzalez.
Board Member Gonzalez,
Gonzalez.
Board Member Moody,
Gonzalez.
Board Member Weisenberger,
Gonzalez.
Chair Esparza.
Gonzalez.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Gonzalez.
Okay. Item, new business?
Yes, thank you, Chair Esparza. So a couple times a year, we do a development update. In your agenda is the report with some pictures of residential, commercial, and industrial projects that are ongoing and or upcoming. And we also are going to do a slide presentation, and John King and Johnny Reitmer were going to give you the details of the projects.
Thank you, John. And thank you, Board Chair Esparza and board members. Yeah, we try to do this, as John said, a few times a year. I don't know if we're living up to that obligation or responsibility, but we're going to try to do a little more of these. And it's actually, and it changes quickly, I've realized. So in your agenda folder, there's a summary of some of these projects, but we have a number of updates, and that's especially why we wanted to bring Building Safety Manager Johnny Reitmer here to join in and give the latest. That's just over the last couple of days, there's been some changes. And they're broken down into three main categories: housing, commercial, and industrial. Pretty evenly, actually. So to start, Gold Key Development. Gold Key Development is a developer and contractor. They've done a lot, just to say the least, of projects throughout town, a number of different types. Even a senior housing project on Adams Street. So mostly single family, mostly detached. And you can see how they've really transformed this location. This is the 10-unit housing unit project near Home Depot. And at the top, this is a photo from quite a long time ago, but if you kind of think back, some of you might remember, there was a body shop. This was called Crooks Brothers Body Shop. And it wasn't the most attractive building at this time. There was a spray booth in the back. So the good news is with that gone, and there was a house just next door, the property owner decided to move away. It was a good opportunity, and this developer came in and cleaned up the site, did all the right cleanups. And here we have 10 units that are, I believe they've all been sold. Johnny will tell us in a moment. And there was a grand opening, and can't say any more positive things. So I am going to hand it over to Johnny Reitmer at this point.
Well, let me start off by congratulating the new commissioners. Congratulations, welcome. I'm really excited about this. I was able to attend the open house about 3 weeks ago, and at that time, I think they only had about maybe 5 of the houses sold. But as of right now, all 10 of them are in escrow. The building department was able to do some inspections and find it safe to have Edison and the gas company release the power and the gas. So we're kind of on wait for that, on standby for it. While it's on standby, there are some list of corrections that they have for the final. So it would be by the time Edison and the gas company gets their power on, they'll be ready for fire inspections, and then they would be pretty much ready. They've got a checklist of all the things that they need to do right now, and the building department would think once they get done with fire, it should be ready to, and they get power, they should be ready to be moved into. So that's great news for that one.
Thank you, Johnny. And on the sustainability side, they all have solar panels. They all have they're ready to charge your future electric cars. So really state of the art. And that Gold Key, they do very quick and efficient work, high quality. I like to think that this project at Somerset, actually there's a mistake here. It should be 15017 to 31 Indiana Avenue. It's at Somerset and Indiana. I believe they are just as high of a quality, but for those of you who have been keeping tabs on this project, it's been very slow. But we're almost there. You can see from the glimpse on the inside bottom right, that's the kitchen of one of the units, and they're all pretty much looking like that. So just some minor changes. At the top, you can see how it used to look. It was a mix of some dilapidated commercial and residential, and you might see if you look very closely, they look like they're devastated. That's because the fire department at the time did some type of fire drill and actually created a fire and put out a fire intentionally. And Mr. Reimer, could you add more about this one?
Yeah, it's definitely at the same stage as Gold Key development. We are finally at the stage where we're able to release the power and the gas as of yesterday, and so we're still waiting. Usually the fire department can't go in and do their inspection until they have power. There's bells and different things that they need to test, and so that's a really big inspection. But at this time, they do have some correction lists that they from the building department that when that time comes, they'll be able to turn those keys and get those residents in there. But yeah, this one's been a making. Building department's really doing all that we can to help facilitate the closure to this project.
Thank you. So good news there. This is a project that you'll actually be reviewing within the next few months. And the reason we're showing it now, they have submitted an application, so that's kind of the green light for us to give you a glimpse of a project. It's a senior housing project, actually, 16635 to 16683 Paramount Boulevard, and you could see at the top two pictures, not the greatest looking condition. So, that's why we're excited about this. This is the gateway. This is the southern gateway to, Paramount Boulevard, our premier street in town, our spine. And it's just not that great. So we want folks to come into Paramount and be proud, and for visitors to say, "Wow, this is a great town." And this is kind of holding it back, but we'll get there. There's a bar. It was Irish Harp and some other businesses before that, but now Buchona's Bar has been boarded up. There's auto repair. There's a church that the membership just kind of dwindled, and now it's not even open. So the church is taking the lead on this. They want to build their membership again. So they would have housing on top, senior housing, assisted and independent living, and on the bottom floor have their church. So just working out some details, and it's actually combining two projects. There was another developer that was tackling the bar location. This is all going to be under the banner of the church. So on to commercial, then we have the coffee, Tierra Mia Coffee, and this is a well-known, growing local coffee chain. They are in some surrounding cities, and they're up in Oakland, I noticed. So at the top is how it looks now. So you have the framing, and apparently they were waiting for supply chain issues, the roof truss to drop in. And at the bottom is how it's going to look. So it has a drive-through, has an outdoor seating, very contemporary, and so great food, and could be a little gathering place for all of us. And Johnny, any word on this on inspection side?
On the inspection side, this job's been on hold for quite some time due to the supply chain. There are some updates as far as the storm drain, and I believe yesterday we had a worker on site taking care of some of that exterior framing you see there. So we are keeping tabs on it, so that's why we know that somebody was out there yesterday.
Thank you. So I'd like to say by the end of this year, but I don't know. We'll see. KFC. So as you know, there was a KFC. It became a Starbucks on Alondra and Colorado. And we're very proud of that Starbucks. It's the greenest, category. It's LEED certified, which is leadership in energy and environmental design. So we don't have a KFC, but a different KFC franchisee bought this property at Alondra and Vermont, which has been vacant for many years. It was last Auto Rex West. So the top is how it looks now. Those are actually weeds back there, so it's pretty bad. So the wall's gonna come down. You're gonna get a KFC with a substantial drive-through and contemporary look. So we're looking forward to that. And I believe that is in plan check. So they've submitted plans. It's like the Development Review Board and Planning Commission approved last year. This one at 14800 Paramount Boulevard by the high school, by the West Campus, is an insurance office. As you know, this was a restaurant for many years. We can count probably 7 different restaurants, a lot of turnover in just the last 15 years. So the top is how it was. The landscape was dying out and just really needed a facelift. So that's what we have at the bottom. And they did an addition. You can kind of see where there used to be a outdoor seating area that's now part of the office area. It was nice for some diners, but actually, some of the high school kids would just stay there for hours and hours. So the owner is working to open up his business soon. And Iceland. So this is, as you know, a legacy business and property. Paramount's own Iceland. As you know, the LA Kings bought this property, so they're rebranding it as LA Kings at Iceland. Top right is how it looks now. And the bottom is the rendering of the sign that should go up before we know it. And there's substantial work being done on the inside. And Johnny Reitmer has a lot of information on that he could share.
Oh, you got them right. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. All these other projects have been ongoing when I got here 6 months ago, but this project is getting started. We just approved the sign permit as of Friday. I approved that sign. So as you see, they're already taking the letters down. They're doctoring that existing poles up and getting it all nice and ready for the new logo that's going on there. As far as inside goes, wow, this place has been neglected for years. And so as soon as they got in there and started tearing things apart, as far as the mats that were all over the floor, they realized there was a lot of stuff that was unexpected once they do that. So I believe it's nice to be able to work with somebody that has a good capital to be able to take a project like this on and make sure it sees it past the finish stages. But as you've seen, there's tons of dirt that has dropped off. I think a day ago. What that is, that's actual sand that's going inside the rink. What happens is materials expand and contract, and so when you have ice, it basically froze the dirt in the concrete around. And what happened is it expands. So it cracked, it buckled. So the concrete buckled in, and what was used, they used asphalt, they used different types of materials to kind of level it out instead of fixing it. So what they've had to do, they were only expected to do about 1/8 of the work that they have done. But they've ended up having to basically redo the slab inside there and redo the whole ring. They're putting some tubular material inside the rink, so that way what it does is that's going to heat some water up. It's basically going to be a heating component, so that way it helps prevent the expansion and doing the damage that is done. So all that sand that has been just recently dropped off is going back into the building. They've gotten most of the other dirt that they took out of there out, and it was contaminated due to the nature of the freezing components, the chemicals they utilize. So they did some testing, and they had to get rid of that dirt in a certain way. So we made sure that took place. But all in all, it is behind schedule. I believe they're looking at, is it September? I believe it's September.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
They've said September 15th, but September, October.
It could be. I think it's going to be more of October. Then we were looking at the finishing date on that. But they are moving forward. They have crews there all the time. They have equipment running. They brought off two more Bobcats. So as of right now, they have 4 Bobcats working this, and that's what happens when you got developers coming in here with the money that they have, and it goes smoothly, and that's what's happening here. But that's the update I have.
Thank you. That's good. And the food hall. So you probably noticed that the food hall concept is growing in popularity, maybe more so with COVID. I think it's a lot of folks just want different types of food. So think of that mall food court idea, but a little more higher end. So this is the Plantini Jeans location on Alondra Boulevard, just west of Garfield, across from McDonald's. They do great business with the warehouse, but not so great with the retail. So this is their change, and it'll look great. Have a lot of dining opportunities for all of us. This is in plan check, and according to the applicant, they're working with the fire department at this point before making corrections to the building division's corrections. So on to the industrial projects. McBraun USA Machinery. This is the heart of the Central Industrial District at Illinois and Jackson. It was the Gillen's Market, which was really the anchor of the neighborhood there. It's been vacant for a long time. McBraun, they're I forget which country, but they're from South America. They make machines for machinery. They would not manufacture here. It's more of a showroom. So this is in plan check, and so hopefully it'll be approved later this year and start construction probably next year. World Energy. So this was say at least a massive undertaking in terms of environmental review. So this went through what's called the California Environmental Quality Act. They put together an EIR, which is an environmental impact report, and the Planning Commission, you'll be reviewing EIRs most likely in the future. So a lot going on. So this is the converting to biofuels production exclusively. Just wanted, in this case, mostly just want to highlight there's a wall, a 16-foot high sound wall, 1,700 feet long on the north side. So this will keep the sound out for construction and operations from the Cinderella Mobile Home Park and some homes on Castana on the other side. And they just started construction. It's a pretty solid wall. And I think there was an inspection today, Johnny?
Yeah. That screen wall is being inspected today. I didn't get any feedback from the inspector while he was there, but we're definitely moving forward on it. This is a big job, guys. This is really, really big. It actually gave us an opportunity to grow in our skills here in the city by being able to accommodate their online submittals. Sol's been doing a really good job. This is such a big job that it makes sense to have one individual kind of know what's going on. And Sol's been doing a great job staying on track of the submittals that are going on and where these projects are at. However, this has been I think we were at a diving board here, and they just kind of pushed us into going digital for this. So we're doing things a lot different for this project, and it's been really exciting to be at that stage where we're going digital with it. So this project has done us a benefit in the building and safety division, teaching us to new tricks and new things to do to make and streamline our processes. So I'm really excited about this one as well. But as far as the inspections go, we're still at the beginning stages, doing some electrical for temporary power. A lot of plan check, guys. There's a lot. How many would you think are in plan check right now? So, just a rough.
Probably around 40 applications, and they're still coming along.
Thank you. So she's on top of all of that stuff. But as far as the inspections go, we've not been on site too much. I could probably count on one hand how many times we've been on there in this project in the last 6 months.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just a couple more here. Herzog Electric, they've been in town for years. They a big electrical contractor. They also own Gus's Deli, the property. They so they need more space for their business. They found it on Illinois. They took over a project that had started. So the top is how it looked a few years ago. There was a house, and it was just ready to go. It was one little house surrounded by industry. So at the bottom is pretty much how it looks now. It's block. They're gonna get some awnings. It's gonna look a little more decorative. Some nice landscaping. And so that should be done by the end of the year. Or definitely by the end of the year. And then last, this is another kind of a sneak preview. They've submitted the applicant submitted their application. So this is not far from the previous. This is on Minnesota Avenue, just south of Alondra. The top is how it is now with this older corrugated metal warehouse. I think there's 6 buildings, and then someone connected them probably without permits. So that will all go away if approved, and it would change into a self-storage facility. Apparently, there's a big market need for self-storage in Paramount, as with a lot of other cities. We're keeping more things, so that's really what it is. So yeah, you can see decorative features, and there's a nice mural on the top. So that's really it. I was looking at the word recommendation. I think it's spelled right. If you have any questions, let us know.
No questions? Not me.
Exciting.
Nope. All right. Any number 4, the comments. Any comments from board members, staff.
No comments.
Okay, so the Paramount Development Review Board is adjourned till September 13th, 2022. The Paramount Economic Development Board is called to order. Roll call of members, please.
Board Member Anderson.
Here.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Here.
Vice Chair Sparza.
Here. Item 1 is the minutes. I need an approval of minutes of July 13th, please.
I'll move to approve the minutes from July 13th.
Second.
Go to second.
Board Member Anderson.
Yes.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Yes.
Vice Chair Sparza.
Yes. Now we go to the reorganization.
Nominations are open for Economic Development Board Chair. Are there any nominations?
I'll nominate Dave Moody.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? Nominations are closed. When called, please indicate your choice for chair by stating the last name of the board member you wish to vote for. Board Member Anderson.
Moody.
Board Member Esparza.
Moody?
Board Member Gonzalez.
Moody.
Board Member Moody.
Moody.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Moody.
Congratulations, Chair Moody.
You think so? Okay. That's it to you, Moody. Now you're going to open the nominations for vice.
What do we do?
For vice chair by stating the last name of the board member you wish to vote for. Board Member Anderson.
Gonzalez.
Board Member Esparza.
Gonzalez?
Board Member Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
Board Member Weisenberger.
Gonzalez.
Chair Moody.
Gonzalez.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Gonzalez.
What was that about?
So you go to the number 3, the oral report.
Yeah.
Go on that.
Do it now?
Just go on oral report.
Okay, oral report.
Thank you, Chair Moody. So our management analyst, Sol Bejarana, is going to go over a city program called Come Brew With Us, which is an effort to attract a brewery into the city. Sol?
Thank you, John, and good evening, board members, and congratulations to the newly appointed commissioners. Today's presentation highlights the city's constant efforts in attracting new businesses as part of the city's economic development goals. One such business industry that we're wanting to attract is the microbreweries/distilleries. And this slide here kind of highlights the advertising material we've created, which includes our unique webpage, exploreparamount.com/brewing. And we've got a little example, if we can cue that up. So potential business owners can come to this webpage and take a look to see what the city has to offer and ways in which the city will be able to assist them in bringing their business to Paramount. Thank you, Ivan. This slide highlights the ads we've been putting together so that we will be placing soon in a handful of online newsletters and actual printed material as well. We've got our full page ad and our web banners that kind of go along tops of the online newsletters. And this slide here kind of illustrates the microbreweries. It illustrates that microbreweries are inclusive, family-friendly, and create an easygoing space for everyone to enjoy. And we are hopeful in our efforts to bring a brewery to come brew with us here in Paramount. And this concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Comments?
Comments, the board members?
No comment?
No comments? Comments, staff?
Nothing from staff?
Adjourn?
Okay, thank you.
That's it.